So of course, Animal Crossing at E3. So Nintendo basically announced that there's a lot of games that are going to be playable at E3. Of course, they're going to showcase on the Treehouse. They mentioned the Pokemon game, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, Luigi's Mansion 3, Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past Switch version. But the people said, where's Animal Crossing? Spawnwave kind of gave his thought about it. I agree with him. Is that this is not a type of game that you want to demo, because think of it as Nintendo's version of Farmville, My Sim. This is not like a hardcore game. This is meant for the casual, a relaxing game. So I don't know what improvement they're going to do, what new features they're going to do with the Animal Crossing for the Switch. And a lot of rumors said it might be a 2020 release. We'll just have to wait and see. Maybe Nintendo will say something about it on the Nintendo Direct. Who knows? But, you know, hey, Nintendo this year, I was wondering what's going to main showcase on their E3. Because last year was just Smash Brother this, Smash Brother that. And that was the main game. But this year, they have a lot. Animal Crossing, Switch, Marvel Ultimate Alliance, Astral Chain, there's Bayonetta, there's Luigi Mansion 3, The Legend of Zelda, A Link's Awakening. There's what's their winter main event. Last year was Smash Bros. Before that was Super Mario Odyssey. To some extent, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, but it's Super Mario Odyssey. So we'll just have to wait and see what it is. And then, of course, Pokemon stuff. They talk about a lot of from the conference and the Nintendo Direct. It was awesome. I did talk about it in my previous video. So the gist of it is they're showing a lot of stuff that will integrate to Pokemon Sword and Shield. Namely, Pokemon Home. You can put your Pokemon there and you can transfer it transfer it from one system to another. But going backwards, well, it depends. But maybe the minute you put it on Pokemon Sword and Shield, that's it. Blah, blah, blah. That's all, folks. I mean, one of the interesting parts of Pokemon Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon is if you have the virtual console version of Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow, Crystal, Gold, and Silver, you can transfer that Pokemon on the Pokemon Bank and you can send it to Sun and Moon. Interesting there. So, of course, Pokemon Home. Then there's Pokemon Sleep. Finally, rewarding while going to sleep. I think that's a good idea to some extent. And then they showed another version of their Pokemon Plus Go, Plus Go, Go Plus. Yeah, I know. But at least it's better than carrying the Pokemon Ball Plus, you know, because I didn't really buy the Pokemon Go because I really didn't care about Pokemon Go. And I only bought the ball because I was playing Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. So there you go. But yeah, but in Pokemon, going strong all the way to 2020. Of course, another game is Pokemon Master. Basically an action type game, mobile game that's teaming up with Pokemon Company and Dina. Interesting, that one. And then, of course, Square-Enix announced not only they're going to showcase Final Fantasy VII Remake, which is already looking good from the state of play, they're going to announce the Avengers, Square-Enix version of the Avengers, and that's going to be on the Square-Enix press conference, and that's going to be 6 p.m. Usually it's Sony. That will be interesting because I want to see what it is. The developer by Crystal Dynamics, they're the one that did the Tomb Raider games. Is it going to be open world? Is it going to be RPG? Is it going to be... Well, we'll just have to wait and see that one. And then, you know what, I'm just going to close this with Idea Factory Games reveals. And before I continue, I want to apologize to people who follow my MmGS vlog. I know it's supposed to be the pre-hype E3 2019 was anything related games that's hyping out to a new game that's going to be either showcased at E3 2019 or more, which is kind of it is. But I did talk about a lot of Idea Factory here because, my goodness, Idea Factory International was just announcing stuff left and right to Kingdom Come, from Monster Mario Chronicle Age coming out at the end of April. Neptunia Shooter that's supposed to be an April Fool became real. I gave my impression about it. It was good. And then, of course, Dead Alive, that's later on. Dead and Request. Now it's on Steam. A little bit of bug because, again, porting it to Steam, I guess they're not really that good. But again, multi-platform. So, Switch probably in the long run. I'll probably give my opinion about why they're not doing it, because somebody from Twitter that follows Idea Factory International basically kind of give an insight that there's a reason for it. The gist of it is the game engine they use is not compatible with the Switch because the Switch is new. Anyway, and of course in June, I mentioned that there's a lot of games that's coming on in June. Originally 3, now 2. So Dragon's Star Varnier is going to come out during E3 week, the 11th. So a lot of people already got early copies to show and review. So again, the PS4 version, it is censored, but they did announce a Steam version, which will be uncensored. Because in the past, when they heard about, it was actually in November in the press event, they actually did say that yes, we know about the censorship, we know Sony been doing the censorship craziness, but they did say that they are committed to trying to release the game in its purest, because the Vita version was a controversy with Monster Chronicles. No, Monopiece Monster, that's the name. I do apologize. Monopiece Monster basically was censored in the Vita because Idea Factory International were afraid. The president of Idea Factory itself said we don't do that. If we censor ourselves, we'll go to another platform. And yep, they kept their word. Look at a lot of the game. Monterey Chronicles Hyper, only on the Switch. The next Mary Skelter 2, only on the Switch, because there was a PS4 version, but Sony's stupidity gutted the game and broke the game. And of course, Super Neptune RPG 2 CGC had to be modified. It was already shown the comparison, and in Japan it bombed. People hated it, and someone even basically told Idea Factory, it's time for you guys to move to a different platform as a priority system, which is i.e. Switch rather than the PS4. And that's the sad part, is that Idea Factory and Compahard were very supportive with the Sony platform. They were always exclusive to the PlayStation platform because they believe on them, and Sony welcomed them to say, hey, you want a game, you need a system, there, PlayStation. Then all suddenly now, because you're trying to change your reputation, your image like an idiot, grow up Sony. I felt like the way I see it's like a betrayal there. Like, really. Because Dragon Quest Varnier is going to be censored, the 2CG scene. Same goes with Super Neptune RPG. And then the worst one is Dead Alive. I did do 2 videos about it. So it was first mentioned that 2 of the scene was going to be modified, which is more sim and whatever. But then it got worse when they revealed that there was a special feature called the Digital Art Book, which is the gallery mode. And the PS4 version is they got to remove 5, not 4, 5 pictures. They got to remove it, and they did show what they were. Again, props to Idea Factory International for being transparent. Yeah, I mean, like I said in that video there, would I buy a $50 game that's gutted or a $50 game that's complete? With normally a common person with logic is that you always buy something that's better to your value. If they're the same price, which one is better? Steam or the PS4 version? Steam has more content, has more visual versus the PS4. And again, I still don't understand what they're trying to prove and why they're doing this. What are they trying to? Are they trying to say to the developer, don't do this type of game because it's not good for video game society? Kiss my ass, Sony. They did this with the PS3 to some extent, a lot of it, like the English dub. Even so I support the English dub, the way they did it was stupid. Another one was, and this is basically Ken Kuraragi's idea, and I think this is what shot him in the foot is, let's make the PS3 hard to develop, so company will only make games for the PS3 because the PS3 was successful. Guess what happened? Guess what happened then? Yep, it backfired on them. They rather went to the 360. Heck, some of them even went to the Wii, and some of them were considering just doing Steam because they're not going to waste money if it's too difficult to build and it's harder for them to basically familiarize the PS3, the architect, the cell processor, whatever they call that crap on the PS3. So it was stupid for Sony, and again, they're doing some same aspect shit, excuse the language again. Oh, let's censor the game because we need to send a message to the developers that fast servicing games are bad, especially when it's anime girl showing a lot of skin. So, and I mean, in case we Dead Alive, Reincarnation, I wonder what people are going to buy it. Mostly probably going to be on the Steam. Why would someone buy it for the PS4? Well, if you don't have a high-end computer and you really want to play this, what's your choice? Well, the PS4. Well, what about the Switch? while the Switch is still new, and Idea Factory are trying to figure it out. They are getting there, and a lot of people said that it's time to prioritize Steam and Switch, forget about the PS4. And as a PS4 supporter, I agree. Yeah, it sucks. I agree there. Of course, that's the sad part. There is their delays and their censorship. But at least the good news is more games are coming out. Mirror Skelter 2 is going to come out. They said end of 2019. Arc of Alchemist also coming out this end of the winter, maybe 2020 also. Downside, that one's only digital. And I did give my theory about it, and I think because the Idea Factory to some extent is that they're trying to find a way to cut games. I mean, there's been a lot of complaint about Idea Factory. They're not Angel. They're not basically immune to criticism. So a lot of it, of course, is censorship, but it's not their fault. Some of them is the partial dub, including myself. I kind of called them out on that one. I don't hate them on it. I understand why, but people still don't like it. They said it's unfair. It sucks. And from what I heard, Idea Factory International do hear it, but to some extent, they really can't do anything about it with the budget they were given. I mean, an alternative is keep it digital, then you got more money to put the voice in, because you don't have to pay for the cover, the case, the graphic design of the sheet for the cover, whatever. But then what's going to happen? The people who like physical copies, they're not going to be happy. And then, will there be a limited edition? Because people love that. Oh, well, there's no limited edition because you're putting more money on the voices. I mean, look what happened to Judgment or Judja in Japan. I know, whatever. And some people are happy, including myself, because finally a Yakuza game finally once again has English. People are harping on it. That's what I'm trying to say. Have English dub. And they finally said it, but then what was the catch? Well, we can't put it in a steel case. We can't do a limited edition. All you get is a reversible cover and a sticker, and that's it. And some people are not happy with it. And some people say, do we really need English dub on a Yakuza game? They're set in Japan. It doesn't make sense. Well, they're trying to please everyone. I'm pleased, so I don't care about a limited edition. I don't care about a steel case. I care the game has an English option, but that's just me. So some people say, you know what, NautoAis, you suck. It is what it is. It's the internet. Anyway, back to Idea Factory's announcement. Of course, Azure Lane Crosswave in 2020. Again, interesting that they actually announced that. And I did say in that video that is it going to be English dub or not. Judging by, I went to their Japanese website and looked it up, and they have like voice sample. It is from the mobile game, so my answer to that one, I hate to say this, but I think it is going to be true, is Azure Lane Crosswave will not have English dub because there's a lot of characters there, and they're just using the mobile game just to cut corners, sucky. They're probably just going to use the voices from the mobile game. Yeah, so how much? If it's $60 with no English dub, they just pulled the Tecmo Koei, because that's what Tecmo Koei is doing. They're selling games for $60 with no English dub. It's not illegal, but logically, you want to sell it more. You want people to incline to buy your game. You gotta lower it down by $10. But right now, Tecmo Koei is doing some assy type season pass indecision, such as very expensive season pass, especially Dead or Alive 6. And the sad part is that game has English dub because, well, it's a Tecmo game. And remember, Dead or Alive 5. One of the DLC characters from Samurai Warrior 4, and she has an English voice. No, I kid you not. I bought her for $2, which is, I don't know why it's on sale, but whatever. And yeah, she had an English voice there, but yet Samurai Warrior 4 don't have it. So the sad part is that Tecmo probably needed more games, in their catalog. But the downside is, if it's not a Tecmo game, if it's a Gus game or a Koei game, we're out of luck. They're not going to have English dub. And like I said it before, I said it again. In the financial report, the CEO of Tecmo Koei basically said, he admitted it, that, yeah, in order to cut costs, we will not implement English dub, because his belief, and it's not that it could be true, that the majority of people like limited edition and physical copies, and that costs money. Why can't you have all three? Well, you can't have your cake and eat it too, because if you have a certain budget, you're gonna balance it out. So a lot of time is because since voices are very expensive, they rather just cut that out. So yeah, granted that you'll lose some fans, but you're probably gonna lose more fans if it's a digital only or no limited edition. Again, it's a belief. There's no really proof to it, but in the case with Judgment, a lot of people are already complaining about it. So I mean, it's a case by case basis possibly, but in the eyes of Tecmo Koei, they believe is that it sells better if there's a physical version and a limited edition rather than voice. To say, for me, my opinion about it is Tecmo Koei, kiss my ass. That's why you suck now. You used to be good, but whatever. It is what it is. It sucks. I mean, it kind of sucks also that Guts were bought by Tecmo Koei. I don't know what the story behind it, but I think it makes sense in Japan. But looking at somewhere from the US, it's not. So, all right. So I been talking about it for 30 minutes here. I'm probably gonna cut this in 2 parts, make it 15 minutes each. I do apologize, but this is granted, this is like the first ever interesting takeaway. In the past, I didn't really say much about it. So overall, what is my takeaway on this E3? Not a lot of leaks until the very end, the last week before E3, and of course Sony not being there, not really a lot, but it was kind of boring without Sony there. But again, they're done with the PS4, I think. I mean, the God games is gonna come out. Death Stranding is gonna be November, and then of course maybe 2020, The Last of Us, Ghost of Tsushima, and then by fall of 2020, they'll finally introduce the PlayStation 5, and I just hope they ease up with this censor policy on 2020, because right now it's just shit everywhere. And a lot of the Japanese companies now are considering moving to the PC, Steam, and Switch. I say, yeah, I mean, if Nintendo just put in a system-based achievement, I would be so happy. But right now, they kind of not, dude. They're not. I mean, maybe Microsoft's achievement, but that's another rumor. We'll just have to wait and see what they're going to show in E3 2019, if they're going to show it. So that's my takeaway. Now, let's see what's going to happen in E3 2019. With that, I'll see you guys later.